Producer and singer Don Spike has been sentenced to 2 years in prison on charges of using methamphetamine and other drugs. On June 15, the Third Criminal Division of the Seoul High Court held a final sentencing for Don Spike's alleged violation of the Act on Aggravated Punishment for specific crimes. The judge stated with regards to Don Spike, the prosecutor's claim of unfair sentencing is reasonable. They added, "I will void the original sentence and order 2 years in prison and 80 hours of a drug addiction program, along with an additional fine of 39.85 million won, approximately $31,300. It's been judged that there is risk of escape, so an arrest warrant will be issued." They continued, many of his acquaintances submitted petitions and Don Spike also submitted a statement of reflection. His lawyer also submitted documents regarding his participation in a drug addiction program. The judge explained, the prosecutor made an appeal for wrongful sentencing. Don Spike cooperated with the investigation, is reflecting, and his acquaintances have requested leniency. While he has a history with marijuana, that was 10 years ago and he has no criminal history in that time. Severe punishment is required as drug crimes have an adverse influence on society as a whole. It is not good that the amount of methamphetamine is equal to 45.6 million won, approximately $35,800, which is an amount that can administer 3,500 doses. The history that the judge mentioned refers to Don Spike's marijuana case in 2010, for which he was fined 5 million won, approximately $3,900, and his separate drug case the same year, for which he was sentenced to 1 year in prison suspended for 2 years of probation. According to the police, Don Spike is being charged for purchasing 45 million won, approximately $35,300, worth of methamphetamine on 9 separate occasions and administering methamphetamine 14 times since the end of 2021. He has also been charged for issuing methamphetamine and ecstasy to others 7 different times and being in possession of 20 grams, approximately 0.7 ounces, of methamphetamine. In December 2022, the prosecution sought 5 years in prison, 200 hours of rehabilitation treatment, and a fine of 39.85 million won for Don Spike. Back in January, Don Spike's first trial was held where he was sentenced to 3 years in prison suspended for 5 years of probation. Top photo credit, Sports News.